I just have a very quick question for Mr. Oborne.
Yeah,
and
go ahead. Yeah.
Mr. Oborne, I just wanted to ask you a question. Since you're a very good, I would say you've studied this region quite well, both Pakistan and India, and I'd like to just ask you this question. I think 3 years ago, New York Times commented on Indian Army's use of pellet guns in Indian-occupied Kashmir. And this term really does not escape my mind. I keep recalling it often. New York Times, in one of its editorials, described the victims of the use of Indian pellet guns in Kashmir as the victims of a pandemic of dead eyes, since there was a large number of casualties, people blinded because of the use of these pellet guns. For India to resort to this kind of brutality against a minority of people, considering, of course, the population of India, Kashmiris are a minority, subjugated, occupied. For India to do this without having a prior colonial history and with its own history of a freedom movement, a liberation movement against a colonial power. For Indians to do this, I mean, how do you reconcile this conflict within the Indian personality and psyche? On the one hand,
while they claim to be the largest democracy.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a key point.
It's a very profound question. Because when India was founded, it looked like a great democracy, a great pluralistic democracy. Gandhi, Nehru, and it was about tolerance. And for a long time, Pakistan looked to be the opposite. You had you had a series of military dictators, and as we know, we had a record of sectarian attacks on minorities, and I've been wondering about this. Maybe things have turned around since Imran Khan became leader. He's opened doors to minorities. He's made a number. He's not been perfect by any means, but there have been big statements about Sikhs and Hindus from the Prime Minister. And whereas India has gone in the opposite direction, under Modi, it's taken a terribly dark direction. I mean, Kashmir is the only, I think I'm right in saying, the only Muslim majority state inside India. And you've got to look at Mr. Modi's record in Gujarat, where he's accused of sanctioning really the most awful bloodshed against Muslims. And to me, Mr. Modi looks like a renunciation of the magnificent moral inheritance of Gandhi/Nehru. And Pakistan, to me, looks a happier. I mean, there are all kinds of problems in Pakistan, but I think there are hopeful signs that it's showing a wisdom and a kindness towards minorities, which hasn't always, by no means, has always been the case.